Let's see. Oh, hey, we're live.
Hey everybody, it's Jen and Erin here. We're live on the Monday morning show on the Illustrious Ones page. So if you're not right there, come on over and check us out. That way you can leave comments and interact with us as we shoot this Monday morning show. So this is my co-host, Erin Strayer.
Good morning. Yay. Hey, it's December 17th, everybody. And it is Monday. It's 9 a.m. where I'm at. It's 10 a.m. where you're at. It's 6 a.m. where other people are. And it's tomorrow in another place. So, so this is where we talk about all kinds of things that are important, stuff that's not, things that we as entrepreneurs cross in our lives and have to deal with, and the balance and the commitments to ourselves and to our families and to our business and to our clients and doing all the things. And we never know what we're going to talk about, but we do know we're going to talk about people.
Yeah. No, we actually never do know what we're going to talk about. So just heads up, we are always off the cuff, and we are flying by the seat of our pants, but it's always very current to what's actually happening in our lives right now, which makes it that much more valuable to both of us and hopefully to you.
Oh my gosh, that is I think that's the most valuable part of this show for me, is that it's so off the cuff, it's so authentic, it's so real, it's so right now in the moment, that it's really super viable to what is cooking for both of us and many, many people in both of our worlds. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and that's just the thing, I like to live in the energy. It's something I'm really plugging into lately. And that means that I really need to go with number one, what my body's telling me. And, that comes with intuition and my imagination and all of the things. So I have to really trust and just have so much faith in myself to stick to the energetic flow, to make sure that I am doing what I am just supposed to do. Because I just don't believe we're supposed to live on some kind of schedule. And even though we can produce some really fantastic goals and stick to those, you've got to be in the energy to really make it work. And especially with all those planets moving around, and I hear it all the time about, retrograde and how it affects people. But if you're really living in the flow of the energy, it's not so bad. So
yeah, and I just want to remind the people, we are broadcasting on more than one platform today, which is really pretty cool. So if you are currently not on the Illustrious Ones Facebook business page, go ahead and click the link right above you in the comments and come on over here. Tell us hi and good morning, and make sure you have a fresh hot cup of something to drink this morning.
Yeah.
It's my
a giraffe
mug this morning.
Erin has a new cup every single week. I swear to God.
I traveled so much in my prior career that it was it ended up like I was a cup collector and I didn't even know it. I collect mugs for a hobby, and I collect mugs.
Oh my gosh.
I have boxes and boxes and boxes of coffee mugs.
Oh, it's like that, eh?
Yeah. And then people buy them for me, and I love them. So then you have to rotate them in and out.
Oh my goodness, this is a whole thing. Okay. I didn't realize.
Who knew?
I did not. I have enough trouble keeping 10 coffee mugs in my house that don't have chips and stuff in them. And then I just go and replace when I find some nice ones.
Whoa. Yeah. See, so I'm the only one really that uses them. Hudson drinks hot cocoa out of them. But Jim, if he drinks 2 cups of something hot a year, that's pushing it.
I've heard of this. People that don't drink hot things.
Right?
It's a little weird.
It's a little weird. Yeah, it's just a little weird. Oh my gosh, you guys. Yeah, so we are coming up hot on the end of the year.
Yeah.
We are coming up really hot on the end of the year. And there was one thing that I wanted to talk about today that really touched me pretty deeply last week. I had an on-purpose outing, and I'm gonna just throw throw Jim out there for a little bit. He never watches this show, so it's okay.
No, mine neither.
So my delightful husband Jim, he's not on any social media. He doesn't do this isn't anywhere part of his world. He works in pretty high level corporate, and but he's a wood tick, right? So he likes to live in the woods, and I love the woods too, but this is a different kind of wood ticky when we're talking about Jim. So like I never ever know what to get him as a gift for his birthday, for Christmas, for Father's Day, nothing. So I do this on purpose trip to Cabela's. Do you guys have Cabela's in?
Yes.
So you know what I'm talking about. Yes. So it's this like massive outdoor store that's like geared all around hunting, fishing, camping, and anything to do with the outdoors. So like everything from mittens and boots to fishing poles and GPSs and binoculars and firearms, and you know, it's like the mall for men. So I take him there to get some ideas, of which I got none. And then I said, let's go out to dinner. I'll buy you dinner. So this is another thing. Like he never goes out to dinner either. Like this is a big deal. And he gets all excited and he wants to go to this place called Golden Corral. Do you guys have that where you're at?
No, but it's sounding like a buffet. Go ahead.
Yep, it is a buffet. So it's like this cafeteria kind of line coming in. You got the zigzag line going in, and you're standing in line, and you get your tray and your cup. And he's all excited because he's heard all about the Golden Corral, and he just wants to go there. Okay, I'll play. Right? So we get up. The whole way through, this little old couple's behind us in line, and they're struggling to get the water out of the water dispenser as they're coming up to the thing. Yeah. And we get to the register, and the lady's trying to make him pay because he's a man, right? And I kind of like try to scoot him out of the way. So I go to pay. Yeah. And I leaned over to the lady and I said, "Will you put that couple's dinner on our bill, please?" He's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Shut up, move over." And, it was it played out really, really interesting because, I didn't turn around. They didn't know what I was doing. I could hear them at the register as we're walking away. And I'm like, that's beautiful. Like, I didn't want any recognition whatsoever. I just wanted to buy them dinner, Yeah. And the lady almost runs Jim down to thank him for dinner.
Oh, except it wasn't him.
But it was beautiful, and I didn't correct her, right? Like, and I just thought it was so beautiful, like just how it all played out. And then yesterday on CBS Sunday Morning, there was this whole thing on Secret Santa. Who have you seen?
We have Tim Hortons up here, and people are always paying for the person behind them's order.
Yeah. I love it. And that act, it was like, I don't know, $26.
Yeah.
Right? Like, come on. It brought me so much joy. And we get to our table and he's like, "Why'd you do that?" I said, "I don't get to buy dinner from my parents, like ever." Mm-hmm. I said, "And when do you think the last time they saw their kids was?"
Yes. Oh, now you're hurting me, heart.
Right?
Yeah.
I said, "And I can. And I want to." And just that act brought me so much like joy. And it had nothing to do with the money. No. Like it had nothing to do with the money. It was all about the giving. And then to be reinforced by the CBS Sunday Morning, the Secret Santa thing on CBS Sunday Morning, he hands out $100 bills, but he had recruited a homeless man this year. He goes to a different city every year, and he's usually the one handing out the $100 bills to people. Okay. He actually recruited a homeless man to help him hand out $100 bills this year. And like, I got tears running down my face yesterday morning watching this episode of CBS Sunday Morning of this homeless man with his cup and his sign. And when somebody would put change in his cup, he would then hand them $100 bill.
Yes, yes.
And like I got goosies right now just thinking about it. And there was a gentleman on there that dug everything out of his pocket and out of his wallet and put it in his cup. And then the man handed him $100 bill, and the man started like crying. And he's like, I have 7 children. I have no idea how I was going to buy them anything for Christmas.
Oh gosh.
And so he starts handing him out more money. the homeless man.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes.
So if you guys haven't watched, like,
you're going to cry, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. They're coming out right now again. If you haven't watched yesterday's edition of CBS Sunday Morning, like, go back and find it on the Secret Santa from yesterday. It totally changes your world and how you see people, and that you can do things anonymously and still change people's lives, like massively change people's lives.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It is, isn't it?
And the thing about it too, like, we don't live on the hog at all. We don't live lavishly. We're pretty non-materialistic people. And like, by any stretch of the imagination, we are not well off, but we have way more than we need.
Yep. Yes. Yes. And even, yeah, like we've got heat, and that was heat right there. It's well, in Canada, we get so cold here, and you're the same.
Yeah. So
cold, right? So, and just those simple things are so wonderful to have.
Yeah. And people don't understand, like, how touching it is to just do something without expecting anything in return.
Yeah.
And what that does for you. Good morning, ladies. Catherine's on here. Hi, CBS Sunday Morning does that story every year. Yep, it's amazing. He's in a different city every single year. He's in a different city, which is pretty cool. Good morning, Catherine.
Good morning,
where you're at, Catherine. Where are you? Let us know. Yeah, it's so, like, it just makes your heart, like, you don't think your heart can get that big, and it just,
yeah.
and it's so good.
Yeah, it is so good, isn't it? Yeah.
It's so good. So what's new going on in your world?
Oh, Erin, okay, so last week we were talking about that 3-lane. Hey, Tracy.
It's a Tracy lane.
Oh my gosh, did you see that on Badassery? She was getting, she got a live interview with Samantha. And she's just like, Tracy Litt just brings it. She's wearing it all over the internet and telling people how it is. I fucking love that shit.
I know. She's awesome. If you guys have not experienced Tracy Litt, like, seriously, go get in her world.
Yeah, Worthy.
It'll change you forever.
What is that group name? Sorry, the Worthy Woman Revolution.
Worthy Woman.
Is that it?
I'm pretty sure.
She should totally drop the link in this
Tracy,
feed.
Yeah, totally drop the link to your group in here.
Mm-hmm. It's so good. Mm-hmm. She's always dropping so much badass goodness, and we just
Grass Fridays.
Oh yeah. And it's just like, it shakes you out of like the stress of all of this, right? And you were just saying right at the very beginning, all the stuff that we end up doing, and then Tracy shows up. She's like, remember, you just have to shake out of that because none of it's real. Like, it's real, but
yeah, the Worthy Woman Revolution. There it is. Thanks, Tracy. Yeah, we totally love Tracy here at the Illustrious Ones. She is part of our collective. We love, and adore deeply the Tracy Litt and the Lit Factor and the Worthy Woman Revolution, and every single tidbit of awesomeness that Tracy brings. She's wicked talented. She changes. If you guys get in Tracy's world, like, your world will never be the same.
No, and that's just it. Like, and I think I brought it up last week where it was just, on vacation, and it was so many people that I could have like held myself to go and see. But Tracy's one of those people that she's like, you don't know anybody anything. And I was like, No, I do not. So I don't have to go do any of this stuff that I would normally hold myself like accountable for. But it's not real. None of it's all just the lit factor. I know, right? It's the lit factor. It's like just to
get lit with the Tracy. Oh, and her merch. Oh my gosh. Have you seen her merchandise?
Yeah,
Total merchandise store. Tracy, please put the links in here. Oh my living.
yeah.
Her merchandise is off the charts. Like the Worthy Human. Seriously.
The unfuckwithable.
Unfuckwithable. I know. I need that coffee mug. That's my next one. I could do it. I could do that one. But her hat and the material is like heaven in your hands. Yeah.
Oh.
Like it is like you just want to rub it because it's so soft and it washes awesome. Like it doesn't shrink. Oh my gosh. Like it's spectacular. Tracy, put the links in here to your goods.
Yeah, I know. I love great clothes, and that's the thing. Like shopping around at a mall, I'm like,
onesies for little bitty baby.
Oh, how cute is that?
I know.
It's precious, though, right? And that's the thing. Like we do want different kinds of clothes that do not look like the clothes that are in the stores because it gets boring after a while. 15% off on everything Worthy Human.
Serious people. It's the best. It's the best stuff, hands down, ever. And life's too short to wear shit that feels like sandpaper. You're too worthy for Amen, sister. Amen.
Tracy, you're awesome.
Phenomenal. She's phenomenal.
Yeah.
And what she does and the practice that she does is unlike anybody's I've ever experienced before in my life. She's like ridiculous. It's called RTT, Rapid Transformational Therapy.
Yep.
Is what she does. And it's a combination of hypnotherapy, and Tracy helped me with the other one. It's maybe 2 or 3 things combined that come in together to be the therapy that she provides. And it's seriously life-changing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's
what you wear impacts how you feel. Yes, it anchors you and helps you feel inspired and empowered.
Yeah.
For real. Like seriously, that's why you pick your clothes every day, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah, and I don't know. I went through this thing with Ione Schultz. She's another really powerhouse, the Technicolor priestess, and she was always saying, dress like the icon that you want to be.
Yeah.
So those clothes in your closet that you bought because you really like them, or maybe you're just too afraid to go and buy those pieces, even if they come from secondhand stores. I found the most fabulous pieces in secondhand stores. Oh yeah, here we go. RTT, hypnotherapy, cognitive behavior therapy. Oh, and NLP.
NLP.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's a wicked combination of therapies all combined into one. And it's off the charts. Had it.
Yeah. I have it. I did her free session with where she just walked us through a hypnosis to her inner child. It was like a pilgrimage almost right down to her inner child, and I'm sure that was part of your therapy. And then we just went in and brought them back with us, and that's a very powerful thing. And it sounds really surface, but it's not. It's deep. It's really deep. And yeah, and I got to gauge a lot of things off of that afterwards, like my worth, which is something that was sort of lost at a certain part, and I didn't even know where, and I was able to identify it. And now I don't even have that anymore, like that unworthiness thing. Like that's not really even part of my brain anymore. So thank you to Tracy for that.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. People, seriously. She will absolutely 100,000 million % change your world. You guys too, our little Illybot is hooked up to our show today. So if you are wanting kind of like a little heads up of when we're live, Jen and I on the air. We usually go every Monday, but we travel and holidays come up, and we have massive amounts of snow and ice where both of us live that sometimes takes our internet out
Oh
the
my
day
gosh.
ahead of time.
Yeah.
But if you guys want show reminders for the show, just go ahead and type live in the comments, and we'll make sure you get a heads up when we're on live. But yeah, so what else is going on?
Just so much stuff. I decided, over the last 2 years, every time I get into a meeting with a coach, or even if it was just like a simple, like I'd want a few things. And the first question is, what is your why for being in business? And I'm like, oh, fuck.
Right?
So it became very surface. It's like, oh, okay, I just want to take care of my kids, which I do. But when we really, okay, bye, Tracy.
Hey, Trace, thanks for hanging out with us. We love you.
Yes.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas here. And these things, they always come up, and I've been digging and digging and digging. I'm a really spiritual person, so I just keep digging. And I've just been really identifying that there's definitely 3 different parts of me that come together. And I brought that up last week, the 3-lane highway. I'm not 1 lane. And so now I've just been digging in even further to that, and being able to really just figure out how to like develop my own personal blog, like jenweatherly.com. What goes in there? So identifying those 3 lanes, and now building out a blog that actually, reflects it and the different subjects that I want to talk about. And so I got to film one yesterday. I took my kids on a Tiffany. I took my kids right into the forest that we always hit up the same forest, and it's gorgeous. And and the kids in every season are picking out different stuff to do, and I just value so much how much that heals us at each time we go in the bush. And there's always a little fire pit, and we always light a little fire. But having fire streams there and just hanging out is so good for us.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love to know what other people do to really just reset. Like, I'd love to know what you're doing to get back into the rhythm of who you really are.
Yeah, you guys, if you're on live with us now, I know people have been coming and going, and it's morning, and Tiffany, gosh, love you. We love you so much. She takes her first break to listen to us.
Sorry, we've been messing with the times.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, you've been on your sabbatical, but if you guys are watching us live or you're on the replay, let us know what you guys do to refuel, to retouch the center of yourself again, and what works for you, because everybody's reset is different, right? Like that reset button.
Oh, it's just so varied, right? Like, and I just really felt like we needed to be immersed in the forest, but it could be as simple as just an aromatherapy bath, or even just smelling the bottle, or eating something that just makes you feel so good. I mean, whatever, a cup of tea that's made with a certain blend of herbs that you just love to death. It could be anything. But yeah, no, it's always so much fun to just know what people are doing.
Yeah. I know it's funny because the forest usually does it for me too. We've had multiple conversations about this. But lately for me, like I don't know if I'm going to say it. I might say it out loud. I am a closet fabric whore. And,
oh my God.
For real. For real. Most people wouldn't guess that. They would not guess that. I guarantee you. Unless you've been in my home and up in my office, you probably would never know that. But I've spent the last 2-3 days like immersed. Like, you're lucky my camera is facing this way and not just a titch turn. Because seriously, it looks, what did I call it? Or just before we went on air?
I can't remember, but it's funny.
Crafting vomit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's really like sewing vomit in my room right now. Like I have like multiple, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 6-foot tables in my office that you can't see right now in my office. My door's shut. Each one of them has like, it's a little what do you call it? A little assembly line doing my homemade gifts because neither one of our sides of our families, we don't buy gifts. We make gifts. So we have homemade Christmas on both sides of the family. So I know.
That's a lot of work.
And I have really good intentions to start in July.
That's so funny. Oh goodness. And actually at my house, my kids and I, we didn't have a very big house before, so a lot of decorations, just we didn't have space for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, lives in the woods. I do too, but I really need to go and like get in the woods, which and my backyard's not really set up for it yet. But we have been collecting and making Christmas decorations at our house. And just doing like some night missions to collect like some branches and stuff. So we made like a cool little boho Christmas tree with some branches, and the kids are decorating it with their stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so cute.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then we'll do it for our gingerbread houses and maybe make some decorations as well. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. See, and I think like gathering all those things and the special things from the forest and bringing them in really is pretty honoring of that, right? Like, and then making something you love out of it and then giving it away. Like whether you fill that pine cone with peanut butter and birdseed and give it to birds, right? Or you're making like taking all the twigs and hot gluing them together and you're making a star.
Yeah.
Right? And maybe you got like some glitter thread, or you're spray painting it or whatever, gluing a pom-pom on it. I don't know. I mean, the kids make them look awesome and they're like the best ornaments ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They really are. Yeah. And the kids, they just love, like, they're just in their glory when they get to make stuff. So why not? Right. That's just sounds so much better to me.
Tiffany's on here talking about her schedule. She goes, my mundane schedules, example, sunrise yoga, jealous already, at 5 a.m., or new food cafe, or atypical experience like kickboxing or belly dancing. Super. That's on my my bucket list too, is belly dancing. Like,
oh my.
Massively on my list too.
So much fun.
Mm-hmm. Massively, yeah. She also says she loves fire pits. It allows her to chill and recharge at the same time.
Yes. And the smell, it just gets on you and you're like, oh yeah, it's gonna be good. You just smell it for the next 2 days.
I know, it's like you don't want to take a shower and get that smell out of your hair. Like you just want to go to bed and smell it. Okay, so I collect stones, herbs, oils, lots of Zen things. I use them intermittently. Never know when you're going to need a little extra woo-woo. I know. I know. Pine cones on my desk. I don't know.
I know. I've got my shells and stuff for my
I know. I am not turning my camera the other way.
Do it. Let's see what crafting vomit looks like.
No. I'm going to draw the line there. You don't get to see my crafting vomit. Oh, and my ironing board's set up too.
Oh.
The only thing I iron is crafts. So I don't iron anything else.
Oh
my gosh. So what's on your agenda? I mean, because we're coming in hot and heavy into the holidays.
Yes, and the thing with me is I never really overdid Christmas or anything like that, and for me this year I'm just trying to get into it, and so I'm trying to take it really easy and just be with my family, which is really wonderful. But there is one thing that I just wanted to say. A person I know is hosting a winter solstice sound bath with her crystal bowls. I know, I'm so excited, and I think I'm gonna go. I just saw it this morning. I love doing stuff on the winter solstice. Like last year, it was Kundalini yoga. Mm-hmm. I found it a little bit weird, a little chanty, but
where you go to, and who leads it? right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, totally. And then, yeah. And so this lady, I really do love her, and like her energy is really fabulous. She does body talk as well, which if you're not familiar with it, it's really interesting. But so she's does Pilates and these crystal balls. So I think that's what I'm going to do this Friday. But that's sort of just something I like. It's not very Christmassy, is it? But I don't know.
It's total soul. Do you know how crystal bowls were made? Do you know the history on crystal bowls?
Yeah, and of course you do. You're totally into this.
So here's a cool thing. So a lot of people know, Jen, I know you know, but we have a piece of property that's just north of us that's extremely large. Well, our neighbors up there are a sector of nuns that live somewhere in the state of Michigan. And this is like their retreat place. So all the traveling nuns that come in get to go to our property. So one time there, I'm like, I know that sound. What is that sound? One of the nuns was sitting out by the lake playing her crystal bowl out by the lake. So they come in 3 octaves. So, if you know anything about music, so they come in 3 octaves. They come in they are totally tuned to, D, C, E, F, G. You can actually set your toner scanner on your music. You know what I mean? Like if you are way into music, you know what that is. You can see the megahertz of the sound and the vibration of the sound and what it vibrates at. It'll scale it. And each octave, each note in the octave resonates with a different organ, a different, a lot of people use they're actually called healing bowls, sound bowls, singing crystal bowls, but they were actually designed for chemical to hold chemicals because because some of the chemicals that were being developed when they figured out, oh my gosh, they're melting everything that we put in them. We put the chemicals in the bowl and it melts the bowls. And so it's actually crushed quartz crystals that are then formed specifically. And it was actually formed to be a receptacle for chemicals. So the chemicals would not dissolve the receptacle. And then it just became, hey, this makes a sound. Oh my gosh, it's like perfectly tuned. What in the world? Oh my living, look at that. And then seriously, there are entire singing groups that start with, if they're a cappella, they start with a crystal bowl as they're starting. Have you ever played one?
No, I think I tried one at a store, and then I was with kids. So, there's always that shutdown factor. Okay, let's just move the children away from the breakable things.
Yeah, because they're extremely expensive. Extremely expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they will only play for their owners.
Oh.
That's the other thing.
See, now I have to go. This is it's just a personal tradition I do. I'd love if you came with me. That would be great.
Yeah, you'll have to send me the thing, see where it's at, see what I'm doing.
That would be fabulous.
I shut down. This is the last show. My show's done. Last week was my last show for the year, and then we'll start first week of January. We'll start up again for that. I need that shutdown time, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, let's do that for the Monday morning show because I'm going to have a house full of kids.
I know. When does your house start filling up?
I don't have family here because we're military. So it's just Friday. The kids are out of school. My husband is off work right now. So we're just taking a bit of downtime, a lead up to having 3 kids in the house. Bless his heart. He actually took care of them for 3 weeks and did a good job.
And they got food?
Yeah, they ate.
And they got on the bus?
He did such a good job. I'm so proud of him.
See, our guys can do it. our guys can do it.
Yeah, he did such a good job, and I think he's a little traumatized now, but you know, now he knows.
Yeah. Like that's twofold, right? Like it proves that our guys can do it.
Yeah.
Not only to us, but to them.
Yes.
Right?
And to the kids.
And to the kids. Yeah. Because Stella was a little, I don't know about this, Mom.
Yeah, no, she's, what are we going to eat, Mom? What? Your dad's going to feed you. Oh, boy.
What are we going to eat, Mom?
So cute.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know when I'm gone, Hudson will tell me when I get back. You know, I know how many times Dad went to the dollar store for dinner.
Oh no. No.
He's like, Mom, do you know what a hungry man is? Like,
Hudson, poor guy.
yeah. And I'm like, guess what? You know, you lived and you're alive.
Yep.
And you ate and you got clean clothes and everything still works and it's just fine. And my way's not always the only right way.
Yes.
Just
yeah.
yes.
But then when you come back in and you're like doing your thing, they're just like, oh, it's so much easier when you do it, you know? So,
yeah.
I just want to point out, Erin Strayer, that it was this time last year.
This year last time. I like that.
I don't know. We were actually working up a collaboration that we called Emergence 2018. And we were planning it to drop for January 1st. So there was a lot of work behind the scenes with Sean Elizabeth and Erin and myself, and also Jen Howell and Kelly Espino, yeah. Yes, and it's just been interesting over the year to see what actually happened out of that. But at that time, we actually knew about the things that we wanted to create. And I know that the director was a small part of it in my brain, but we had that bigger view that we had talked about during that time about a school forming. And this was a really big thing for both of us. So as like we kind of roll into the second year, everything got done this year. Now we're moving into kind of phase 2. So I'm really excited about what's going to be coming in 2019 for the illustrious ones. And that will be, I was just looking through all the software, it's super basic. So that's going to get lit up pretty quick. But that means that we're going to actually, light up the actual platform, the stage that we want to be standing on. So the collective is just one part of it. And there's more to come. So I hope that anyone out there that is watching that is not part of the collective yet, there's going to be a lot more coming that will go along with that. And these are all parts to a bigger picture. So yeah, I just wanted to share.
We spend so much time, you and I, talking, collaborating, planning, strategizing, pulling in strategic appointments with people to help and guide us. And I don't think people realize the amount of work that goes into it, 2, the amount of effort that we're putting in to make it what we want for you.
Yeah.
And taking into consideration your wants and needs as members of the collective as well. And the difference that comes about when when that collaboration, like it's not just, oh, here's a thing and you need it. Right? Like, yeah. Here's a thing and you need it. And I can't believe that you're not doing it because you need it. It's more, hey, what do you want? What do you want different than is out there already? How do you see that rolling forward? Let's have a conversation about that. Oh my gosh. And then what rolls forward from that, right? And then poof, the brilliant mind of Jen Weatherly like gets to work.
Oh, well, thank you. Oh, well, you know what? It's really big, right? It's really big. It's not just what's already happening. Let's do something else.
Yeah.
It's you're working right now on, producing your own show. That's a big one. And you don't just make a show, you produce a show, and that's way bigger. It's so much different. And I'm lining up with the things that I actually am very, very good at, and that is what I'll be putting into, not necessarily even courses, but we're talking it could be lengthy masterminds that go over a few months for that kind of education that you want if you're trying to get into technology and be in the flow and get things done. There's so much happening. So yeah, and you know what? I build websites, but I'm also moving into a new way of doing it. I'm using these premium child themes that I can just plug and play, which makes my job so much easier. And if you're willing to go with the template website, it makes website, the whole business of it, way cheaper, way more streamlined. And then you get to turn that over, because the next step is getting traffic going there. And the next step is, possibly producing a podcast show or anything else. And what are the tools that you need to have, that working for you? Is it a bot? Like RJ the other day, she ran a really good show on, what are you asking people to sign up for your bot? Is it to hang out with you more? She's just like pointing out all these really crappy ways that people are trying to get people to sign up for their bot. Yeah. And I think we're all criminal of doing it.
Right. Whether it's through a bot, whether it's through email, whether it's through Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram posts, right?
Yeah.
Whatever medium you're using, I think if we're honest, we're all guilty of that, of those crappy posts.
Yeah, and you know what? You stayed on longer than me, so I'm going to pick your brain on this one. But she brought up the UVP, and that's your
unique value proposition.
That's right. Okay. Bing, bing, bang, you win.
Yep. Ding, ding.
So, and really, she broke that down for us. So, what is it that your clients most want? And then you got to get deeper, a lot deeper than that, right? So, and that is the unique value proposition, isn't it? Because now you take that and you say, hey, do you need help with this? Because you can ask me one-to-one, how to get help with this.
And it's interesting coming, like when you have a conversation with RJ and get her eyeballs on your stuff and hearing your languaging when you're describing it, it gets super clear whether you're delivering your message or not. Like, she is brilliant with that. She's like, well, what are you doing? Like, what's the purpose of that? What's your ultimate goal? Yeah. Right? Like, she goes there, because if she doesn't, then the build of your bot, because that's what she does, she builds your messenger bot for you. Yeah. Or you can buy her DIY program, which is templates and all kinds of stuff, and you can do it yourself, or you can do it with her, right? Or you can just, here, please do it for me. She's got those 3 different levels of doing it. But she, like, if she can't dive in and get the grasp of what you're doing, then you get to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
And you get to do the work, not her. It's not her job to figure out what you do.
No, and that loops right back to the why. Why are you doing this? And this has nothing to do with you, but if you don't know why you're doing it, you'd have nothing to offer people to those really strong fundamental values that they're really looking for. Yeah. So, and that comes down to writing your copy. That comes down to really being able to engage with your clients properly and well. It all depends on what layer and level you're at with your business. So, and it comes with time, because business should be measured over a longer period of time instead of needing it right now. And I think coming into business, it was, I thought, okay, well, I need to figure this all out right now. And that pressure was a little bit too much.
And I think a lot of people have those same thoughts.
Yeah.
They don't realize, one, you have to set, okay, well, this is the end goal, and then break it down to what's the most important thing that I really need to start with, right? Like, seriously, what is the most important thing that's step one?
Yes, those actionable steps. Yeah. So for me this week, I know my lanes. Yes. Okay, good. I can identify exactly what they are. Now I'm going to I just start listing blog articles for each one of those lanes. That gives me something that then it's write blog one, make a schedule. How am I going to produce this? When am I going to produce it? Like, what is the schedule? So that people can know when they're going to be expecting to see and hear from you about what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that consistency is really important, which I'm learning quite a bit about.
Yes. Yeah. And that brings me to a key point, and then we're going to close it out for the year. That Jen just said a massive thing that I don't think that most people realize, is that you and I continue to educate ourselves.
Yes.
Like, no joke. Like, the two of us continue. It's not like we've made it. We might be one step in front of you. We might be two steps in front of you, but by no stretch of the imagination have we made it, right? Right? No. We're way ahead of where we started.
Oh my gosh, yes.
To do that, we continue to tap resources, be educated, dump ourselves into programs that then allow us to take our next action step, educated. Like, there's a system and a strategy, and it's not like, oh, I took business classes in college. I know everything I need to know.
Yeah, no, because we are online business. This is a whole new game. It's big and it moves constantly. You can't even pin it down. It's like quantum physics. It's always moving.
Always.
Yeah. And it always depends on, what are you willing to look at? Just take a microscopic lens, look at it. And you brought it up the other day. In RJ Speed, I watch things, you see, I take in information that getting that return on investment is actually a really, really important step, because your education in one small area needs to get finished.
Yes.
Before you can move on. And I think we all just take on a little bit too much, and all those free offers that never get looked at.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right. And like, let's take that a step farther. Even if you do invest in a program.
Yeah.
Do you finish it?
Yeah.
Right.
And it takes months for me sometimes to actually finish something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then it becomes a question, well, you needed it. Clearly you knew you needed it, so you bought it. Mm-hmm. So why is it now okay to walk away from that money and that education?
Right. Yeah.
So and why are you letting yourself down, and why are you not okay with that? Like, what part of I just spent X number, it doesn't matter if it's $7 or $700 or $7,000.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I have coaching clients right now that have spent, there's a comma in it, right? There's a comma in it. And and they're not showing up.
What?
So at what point is it okay for you to not follow through with the yes for yourself, for the yes for your business, and to just walk away from, do you have that much money that you can just walk away from it? I don't care if it's $7, right? Why do you disrespect your money that way?
Ooh,
it's getting real with Erin. Right? Because when it comes down to it, it is disrespectful.
Yeah. It is. Okay. So yeah, I think we just lifted the lid off that, Yeah. Are we really leaving the year like this? Like, I feel like we really need to talk a little bit about this, Erin.
Yeah, like just think about that and let it land. Like, are you grateful? Do you even know who's on your money?
Okay.
Right? Like, you don't have to answer it, Jen. I'm just saying, right? Like, at what point does the disrespect really come in? Is it right? Like, is it because it's expected?
Okay.
Is it because it's owed to you? Is it because you earned it? Is it because you really provided what you said you were going to provide and somebody paid you that money? So then at what point in time, when you then choose to spend that money, does that respect not be reciprocated? When you choose not to follow through with what you spent the money on. So whether that's a course to further your business, whether that's groceries from the grocery store and now you didn't make them and they're rotting in your refrigerator.
That's a big one. Hey, that doesn't happen too much at my house because I'm really crazy about that. But there's other parts that I'm letting things just sit and rot.
Mm-hmm. What are you letting sit and rot?
Are we making compost here? Because sometimes that feeds. No, but you know what? That's so good to bring up too, because I don't like anything sitting around my house. I like to use it up and get it moving through, because that fluidity of movement is very much in energetic flow.
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing goes with, these intangible things that we buy to further our business, but we don't even slot out the time to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
So is it really come down to a scheduling and really to the focus of energy so we can actually do it? Because you are the person that gets things done.
Right. So there's a couple other options there. Is it the focus of the energy?
Mm-hmm.
Is it self-worth? Is it a respect issue? Is it a commitment level?
Respect issue. Can you go back to that one and expand?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it just goes back to, again, respecting yourself,
Okay.
respecting, okay, right? So I chose to invest $7 in this checklist to make sure, I'm just winging it here, and this checklist to make sure that everything that I need to do to make sure that my podcast is uploaded properly.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just going out there.
Yeah.
Right. So I downloaded the thing. I looked at it. I'm like, oh, there's a couple things that I'm not doing. And then the checklist is in a pile to the right or left of my computer for weeks. Even though I've identified that there are 2 things on that list that I'm not doing that would benefit my podcast being seen and heard more efficiently, more proficiently, more effectively. Okay. So, Erin, then why are you not applying those 2 things on that checklist that you spent $7 for? What about those 2 things are you not following through with?
And
is it
why?
because you don't have the technology? Is it because you don't have the knowledge? Is it because you don't want to tap a resource or ask for help?
Yeah. And that the thing that keeps coming up to me is I don't want to be seen.
As not knowing.
Well, that, or, if you put it out there and you get more traction, is your website looking the way you want it to? Is your branding looking like, does your logo represent you? Like,
right.
Like all of the things, are those things in place so that that attraction, when you actually plug in all the pieces and it's all coming to you, does it look the way you want it to look?
Mm-hmm.
That's I think a pretty big one, because that's actually stopped me in my tracks,
Yeah.
probably for the last year.
And I think we're not alone, you know? I think we're not alone. And or, you know, taking what you do and oh my gosh, now it's a deliverable.
Yeah.
I want a digital course. I want, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to have a digital deliverable. That sounds like a really lot of work. I don't have hardly any time now to do anything extra or to walk downstairs and make lunch and come back,
Yeah.
let alone figure out what platform I want to use, how I want to upload the stuff, what I want it to look like. Then I got to track all the people. How do I get it out there? Do I run a Facebook ad and just drive traffic to it? And gosh, am I going to nail the right target market, or am I going to be wasting money? And do I have that right? Like, those are the questions that I think every single person, and the more you spend time on the why and the how, the less action you're taking to implement.
Mm-hmm. I will spend a lot of time up in thought realm and neglect action on a bigger scale. So like I'll get all the things done that I have to do, but that bigger action step to the next level, it almost seems like it's just going to be too much work. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. When it really, if you break it down into doable, achievable, obtainable, and you can see yourself checking it off, crossing it off.
Yes.
You can actually see that you're making progress. It drives you to keep going.
Yes. And our timelines actually get set up properly so that we don't try and box ourselves into, I can get that done in 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. If I don't do anything else. Mm-hmm. But that's not possible.
Right. Yeah. Right. So then is it a 4-week situation? Right. Yeah. So if the 2 week is not an option, what can get done in 2 weeks?
Yes.
And how much farther are you going to be 2 weeks from now than you are right now?
Yes. Yes.
If you break it down and don't let yourself become overwhelmed, because that's the thing. It's too much.
And then you have to stop for an extra amount of time.
Right. To regroup and pull all your little scattered self back because you just went and you're like, heck, well, then I ain't doing any of it, right? And out went your pieces into scatterland, into the recycle bin and the compost pile and the trash yard and the junkyard and the wherever your pieces went, scattered into the pile of fertilizer. Right? And then you got to take a moment and take a deep breath and pull yourself all those pieces back in.
Sometimes I like that happens to me, because when I let it farm and come back to me again, because it's not going to go away. If this is something you're supposed to do, then it's like, oh, it's more refined now. I can see it a little bit more clear. It's a little bit more broken down. And I'm like, oh, I can actually see this for what it is. So I don't know. There's a little bit of, I'll give it some grace. Let's just say that.
Yeah. But the thing is, you recognize it, right? Mm-hmm. You recognize that you enjoy that process, but then you're right back at it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's a difference than recognizing it and blowing to the wind and then never bringing your pieces back in.
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference. And staying in that I can't do that. That's not for me. I don't know how. Who am I going to tap to help? Last person I tapped was crap. I feel like they took my money. I didn't get my money's worth, right? Like you stay in that energy lane, which totally isn't serving to anybody.
No, and it only attracts more of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's just be honest. Like, if you really do want to attract the right people to you, then you really have to get into that space of working with really fabulous people. Go make a new friend that's fabulous. Ditch one that's not. Oh, no.
So this takes us right back to the beginning of this conversation
Yeah.
when we were talking about doing just because. Okay? You give what you get, and you get what you give.
Yes.
Make sure you give so that then you can receive.
Yes, yes, in those really selfless ways. Like I tend not to ever talk about anything I give. So that's why I find it hard to take part in those conversations because I do it anonymously. However, it's just like, it's really beautiful. And thank you for bringing it up because it is a really beautiful thing. And it has to happen so that you can block your energetics, money blocks, whether it be for any little thing. Let that flow. Let it flow so that you can really release. It's more releasing than maybe we know.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys, and as we're signing off for the end of the year, I just got goosies.
I know, it's really special, Erin. I don't know. We did a lot this year.
We did so much this year, and we've had so many people come into our space and into what we've created with them. And
I know, it's huge and it's gonna
the
get
feels,
bigger.
the feels are coming, you guys, and it's huge, and it means so much, and the gratitude and the wow, and really the fact that it just goes to show that we are so much better together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, they're all coming.
Oh
It's getting heavy and tight, guys. It might come out. Like it's getting heavy and tight.
Oh,
Which
Erin.
I know. It's new for me.
Oh, I know. I've never seen you like this. But you know what? It's just been such a wonderful experience. And that's the thing. In 2019, I'm so excited because 2018 was just like, shut everything down that's not working. And I think it's like this for a lot of people because energetically, so much stuff has opened up and we are releasing what we don't need. And we're in a really beautiful little window right now of time where if you really are loving something, just go for it. Set the intentions and start making some actionable steps. And we are here for you at the Illustrious Ones Facebook group if you need to bounce some of that stuff off some people, because that's what we do in there. We have a lot of really amazing coaches and lots of different people doing a lot of different things. We have a lot of different perspectives. So definitely bring any ideas you have there that you're really not sure how to get sorted out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you guys. And again, if you're new to the group, we love our people and we love our people hard. We love supporting you. We have no idea what you're doing unless you show us what you're doing. So
Yeah.
we love to see your promos. We love to, if you need eyeballs on something, if you want some feedback, hey, does this sound right? What do you think about the colors? Does it flow? What does this verbiage sound like? People ask all the time and people willingly give feedback. And there are experts in the group, you guys, that are, I cannot believe the expansiveness of the expertise that is in the group. And it's amazing the feedback that's given when people ask. So we're promo friendly. You guys get in there and interact with people and, be respectful. And, we love it.
Yes, absolutely. So I guess that's it for 2019. So we'll see you back here on whatever the first day of Monday is, or the Monday. Okay, ding, we got a winner.
I know.
I have no idea where the calendars are in my house.
Right? Who needs them? You're on vacation.
I'm always on vacation, Erin.
I know. I know. Oh my gosh, you guys, thank you so much for being with us this year. We are signing off again for the remainder of the year so that we can spend time with friends and family and just regroup and come right back to ourselves so that we can start 2019 strong. We cannot wait to see you in the new year. We got lots of things coming down the chute for the Facebook group, for the collective. together. And I know we've run over our time. So thank you so much for being here with us, you guys, again, through the year and especially today. And have a blessed, blessed holiday. Jen Weatherly.
Bye.
See you guys later.